Hi everyone. It's been a month and I'm fully recovered now from COVID. So I just want to thank you all for all the comments and requests. And let's go. Today is the first day of me recording a new sales video, and one of the most interesting topic that I thought would just be the best to talk about today is goal setting. As we approach Q2-ish, or you're halfway Q2, you may be far, you may be on track with your sales targets. It's time to really evaluate how are you doing with your goal setting. So if this topic is interesting for you, whether you're doing B2B sales, B2C sales, this topic will be useful for you. So sit back and relax. This is the topic that I talked about when I was invited as a guest speaker for AIA in Singapore. So I thought, why not talk about this topic again? Because it was quite a success and they really enjoyed this topic. So I'm going to share with you eight goal setting tips. Again, you could be B2B, B2C. This will come handy. I hope you're ready. Tip number 1, agree on the goal. It's very important to agree on your goal, because when you agree on it, you will be motivated to work on it. It's kind of like saying, okay, for instance, my goal is to lose 10 kilos. Do I agree that that's the goal I'm aiming for? If I don't, I will not be motivated to get there. Agreeing on the goal also have to do with your lead manager. Very important to have an open discussion with your lead manager if you feel that your goal or the target or the target being set to you may be unrealistic, maybe too high, maybe given the period of time you have to fulfill that is not enough for you to make it. So agreeing on the goal is the first step to goal setting. Number 2, understand the goal. As a salesperson or someone who's done B2B, B2C myself, it can be very complicated as well to get to those numbers. Whether you are in the property market, you're a broker, you're an insurance agent, whatever you're selling, there's obviously going to be numbers to crunch. So understanding the goal, you need to understand the goal that you were set to achieve. And I myself had experienced salespeople getting all frustrated because yes, they were given a certain target to meet, and then later on they come back to me and say, I don't really understand it. I don't understand. There's complications. There's areas that are so gray. Very important for you to make sure that you, or if you're a sales team lead, your sales people understand the goal. Go through it with them. Go through it in details, in deep details, so that it's very clear for them to know exactly how they're going to get there and the process that they need you to be part of to get there. Tip number 3, manage your goals. So managing goal is, in sales especially, I would say number 1 formula is understand the time frame you're meant to, or you're expected to achieve a certain number. So once you understand the time frame that you were given to achieve that number or that particular sales target, you should be able to manage that by simply breaking down the number of days or weeks you have to get there. Take it one step at a time. I would also suggest as you manage your goal, as you manage your goals, or the days that you have, or the hours or the weeks that you have to get there, also manage the leads that you have. How many leads do you need in order for you to get to that first sale, the second sale, the third sale, and so on? Next one, define target market. So when I was at AIA Singapore and I was sharing with them my take on goal setting tips, because it is very number driven. You know, insurance agents are very number driven. What I suggest is you need to understand, or you need to define your target market. And by saying that is simply, okay, you cannot just go around the whole city and expect that it's just numbers game all the time. It's not always going to be numbers game. You have to understand how to define your target market. And you have to define your target market. So these insurance agents, obviously, they know exactly their target market. They know that they need to zoom, if you may. They need to zoom to the most qualified clients or prospects that may relate to the brand, that may be interested to switch into their brand, as opposed to clients who's been with other insurance companies. So that's what I would recommend to you in terms of defining target market. Because the old saying in sales, which I have learned and I've used and I've trained salespeople with, it's a numbers game. Yes, it's a numbers game. But at the same time, in this day and age, you need to define your target market, because in order for you to define your target market is to really zoom it to the ones that would already have that strong interest to entertain an appointment with you. Not even to sell, but just to have an appointment with you, or just to meet you. Tip number 5, aim for activity-based goals. So you want to aim for activity-based goals. So yes, you know the goal that you have to achieve, you know the sales target, you know what's the number you have to work with or to work on. I would suggest to also manage or aim for activity-based goals, which is, for example, you have to aim also for closed appointments. You also want to aim for completed sales pitch. You want to also aim for referral networking event attended to. Because there's so many layers of activities that you need to be part of in order for you to initially find connections, build momentum, and connect with prospects. So goal setting is not purely the sales itself, but at the same time, your own activity as well. When I was telemarketing before, we would have a activity sheet. And on that activity sheet, it's basically a sheet where we take on the number of leads we generated, the number of calls completed, the number of callbacks, the number of declined calls, the number of referrals we have generated, and so on and so forth. So this is an example of activity-based goals. You also want to aim for those factors that would influence you on finding your sales. Number 6, create a follow-up system. This is a big one. I love this. If you've watched some of my sales training videos in the past, this is a very popular one. And let me share with you why. Because follow-up system that works follow-up system that is effective for you and your client leads to more sales. So let me share with you a very simple follow-up system that I had been suggesting to my previous videos, and hopefully this is something that would interest you if you have not tried. So now that we live in the day and age where everything is digital, you do your presentation, your client can already access the digital presentation before you even meet face to face. Why not apply that as your follow-up system? So in one of my sales training, I've recommended the same recommendation I did when I was a guest at AIA Singapore. I said, look, grab your phone. Everyone has a smartphone. And instead of the traditional text message to Mr. Lim or Mr. Smith, what you want to do is to send a very simple, very effective, very smart follow-up system. And that's obviously will be in the form of a video message. So here's a sample of how I would do it if I was still making my sales call or making a follow-up contact to my client. So I'll be having my smartphone. I'll record a short video and as simple as, Mr. Smith, hi, it's Majoy again. Hope you're keeping well. This is just a quick courtesy call. I understand we're meeting on Friday. I've prepared all the information for you. I'm holding on to the credit that we've discussed that we will be able to apply to your account as soon as we confirm everything on Friday. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll see you, Mr. Smith, on Friday, 4 p.m. Have a good day. Bye, Mr. Smith. So that's a voice message. What that voice message can do in order to reconnect with Mr. Smith is something your SMS would not be able to do for you. So that's one of my follow-up system example, because that would allow you to reconnect with Mr. Smith. You want Mr. Smith to remember how you look like. You want Mr. Smith to be refreshed of your conversation. Just the key points. It doesn't have to be a very long video message, because you also don't want to overdo it, or you don't want to you come across as an annoying salesperson. So that would be my take on follow-up system. Short, sweet, and simple, but at the same time, the idea is you are reconnecting with Mr. Smith. In that way, there will be him on the other line thinking, oh yeah, that's the lady I met. Or, oh yeah, I remember the conversation I had with her. So the follow-up becomes a real follow-up, not just a follow-up that will become, I'll follow you up and then I let you know. Okay? So, 2 more to go. Number 7, monitor your progress. A lot of salespeople I've worked with in the past are so focused with the sales. I need to get my target. I need to get it. I need to hit my budget. There's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. But being unable to monitor the progress, because it's a process. It takes time, and sometimes it takes longer or shorter than expected. So really understand the 7th tip I'm giving you. You need to monitor your progress. You want to assess and adjust. So there's 2 keywords you need to remember here: assess and adjust. So when you say assess, you want to assess where you're sitting on your target. Again, going back to the last 6 tips I've given as well, you would more or less understand that it's basically it's like a map that you're trying to get through. There's a process, there's a method, and if you feel that you're really far and things are not working out and things are too much of a struggle for you, you might want to assess and you might need to adjust, whether it's your appointment setting skill, whether you need to go for more training on closing a sale, whether you need to go for more product knowledge training because you're not that savvy about the whole product, and when the client asks you a question you rattle, and that also affects the decision factor of your client. So many reasons why, but I'm just giving you a few examples. And finally, the 8 tip, goal setting tip number 8: involve your manager. Involving your manager is very important because you need guidance and you need feedback. And this is what me being a sales coach comes into play. As a sales coach, I had so many salespeople who are extremely effective, very experienced, but sometimes when they struggle or when they go through bumps where there would be weeks or period where they couldn't get through their sale, this is when we sit down and basically understand what feedback I could give and what guidance I could obviously provide to my salespeople. So 8 very simple tips. It's very easy, but at the same time, it's a good reminder. And I hope that you enjoyed today's topic. Thanks again for those who left a comment on the comment section. Any topics you have in mind, please don't be shy. Comment down below. I'm excited to be back, and there's more great episodes coming up soon. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next training session. Have a good day. Bye.